Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let us praise and thanks to the God Allah Almighty for the abundance, for the grace, joy of all of us still gathered in this place without any barrier at all and in good health. Salawat and greetings pour out to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has brought us out from the dark ages to the bright light era, namely Islam. Like today, may we all go intercession and the end. Amin. And right now, allow us to deliver a couple of sentences presenting both our English is Indonesian speaking English. And let me introduce our team. Number one is me, Lubby, Anwar, Zain, and number two is Usamah Abdurrahman. This is our YouTube link, and this is our table of content. First, we will discuss about overview Indonesia and what English is. And number two is flexible tongue. Indonesian are the best in the foreign language pronunciation. And number three, the data about Indonesia people English skills by region and why is Indonesia English proficiency is still low. And the last, number four, concluding or closing. First, we will discuss about overview Indonesia and what English is. Indonesia is a country located off the coast of mainland Southeast Asia in the Indian and Pacific Ocean. It is an archipelago that lies across the equator and spans a distance equivalent to 1/8 of Earth's circumference. Its island can be grouped in the Greater Sunda Island of Sumatra and the Java or Jawa, the southern extent of Borneo or Kalimantan and Celebes or Sulawesi, the lesser Sunda Island or Nusa Tenggara of Bali, and a chain of islands that runs eastward to Timor, the Moluccas or Maluku, between Celebes and the island of New Guinea, and the western extent of the New Guinea, generally known as Papua. The capital, Jakarta, is located near the northern coast of Java. In the early 20th century, early 21st century, Indonesia was the most populous country in Southeast Asia and the fourth most populous in the world. In the next slide. And what English is a term of for emerging localized and indigenized varieties of English, especially varieties that have developed in territories influenced by the United Kingdom or the United States. The study of world English consists of identifying varieties of English used in diverse sociolinguistic contexts globally and analyzing of how sociolinguistic histories, multicultural background and context of function influence the use of English in different regions of the world. Right. Now we in the slide of flexible tongue. Indonesia are the best in foreign language pronunciation. Have you ever heard of foreigners speak Indonesian or chatting with foreigners whose primary language is not English and conversing with them in English? The original accent of their language must still be heard, or often they sound difficult and even unclear in the pronunciation of these words. The difficulty in pronunciation is because their tongues have become accustomed to spelling in their native language. Indonesians are considered as the nation with the best pronunciation of foreign language, one of which is English. Although the ability of each person is different, the pronunciation of foreign languages by Indonesians does not leave an accent or accent from the original language, namely Indonesian itself. The native English speaker also admit that Indonesians have a flexible tongue, that is, they can speak a foreign language without being able to clearly hear their native language accent, so that the message to be conveyed will be conveyed clearly. Indonesian vocabulary, which is not much different from English, is the reason Indonesian can speak English fluently without leaving an accent or accent. Moreover, Indonesia is also one of the countries that was once a colony of the British, where English became their language of communication. And however, compared to other countries that have experienced British rule, they still have a thick accent for their native language. For example, Malaysia for its Malay language. Based on one Indonesian citizen who lives in Europe, that the ability of Indonesian citizen in foreign language is highly valued in Europe when compared to other Asian citizens, like the native of China, Japan, or even Europeans themselves. He also mentioned the recognition of many local residents in Europe, where they say that when Indonesian master several foreign languages, they could be very good at pronouncing them. Therefore, it's important to learn a foreign languages, one of which English, which is used as an international language. Right, in this slide we'll be presenting by Usamah. Times is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Indonesian people's English skills by region. Why Indonesia's English proficiency is low? There are several reasons why Indonesia English proficiency is low, even though they have been studying English for a long time. First, English lessons at school are less fun and tend to be passive. Relying on English lesson at school, which is only 2 hours per meeting once a week, is certainly too enough. Not to mention if the lesson delivered are just spending practice question in textbook or worksheets. For me, it's more actual learning to answer English question rather than actually learning English. The body weight of teachers, lack of practice, and fierce teachers make English a chore for students. Second, an unsupportive environment. Ini di Indonesia, let's nggak usah sok-sokan pakai bahasa Inggris deh. Have you ever received a comment like this when you were saying something in English? Talk your intention is to learn. Third, assume that learning English will fade nationalism. Kita kan udah punya bahasa Indonesia sebagai bahasa nasional, ngapain harus belajar bahasa Inggris? Fourth, assume that learning English is not important. Fifth, feel English is difficult. Next, what does Indonesian English accent sound like? Difficult to say a consonant, for example, bad. If Indonesian is asked to say bad or bad, they will say in same consonant. Difficult to say a feather, vowel, and symbol ring that vowel. Common Indonesian can say this vowel the way native English does. Indonesian in general always say R, run, roar. In strong vowel, the way Spanish say R, while native English didn't say R in strong vowel. Indonesian has difficult to mimic the native English pronunciation in R, while native English has difficult to say R in strong vowel. Common people has difficult to differ V and F. Indonesian people articulates instead of symbol AA, that, and basic. Next.
Right, now we are in the last slide. This last slide is about conclusion. So, Indonesians are considered as the nation with the best foreign language pronunciation, one of which is English, although the ability of each person is different. The pronunciation of foreign languages by Indonesians doesn't leave an accent from the original language, namely Indonesian itself. The native English speaker also made that Indonesians have a flexible tongue, that is, they can speak a foreign language without being able to clearly hear their native language and language accent, so that the message to be conveyed will be conveyed clearly. Even in the case of English, Indonesians are considered successful in hiding their original accent, even though the accent is present but not to the end distinctive like Singapore and or Filipino, Indian or Japanese accent. Right, that's all from our presentation. Thank you.